Welcome, 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 everyone. Today is Wednesday, January the 25th, and you are at Treat Loves Academy's weekly ES Futures Breakdown. So, I am Fatima. I'm your guide to mastering micro ES S&P 500 futures trading. So, if you're transitioning from SPX 500 CDFs or you're just looking to sharpen your futures game, you are in the right place. Each week, I'm going to break down market structure, trade setups, risk management, and pro tips to help you navigate the market with confidence and consistency. So whether you're an beginner trader or you're experienced, my goal is to help you, navigate the futures market with clarity and precision. Alrighty, guys, let's go ahead and hop right in the charts. If you are here, if you're with me today, drop some likes, drop some hearts, hit those buttons there and show me some love. And let me go ahead and share my screens and we'll get started. All right, let's see. Okay, so good morning, Charlotte. I'm gonna go ahead and share my entire screen here. If you guys can see my screens, if it's clear, because I did have some connectivity issues this morning, so I apologize for the delay. But if your screens are coming out bright and clear, throw some threes in that chat. Let me know you guys are with me. Okay, let me let our Telegram know. Let me drop our Telegram chat just in case you are wondering where our chat room is. We talk every day. So, wrong link there. Let me see if I can find our trade love. It never wants to. Let's see, I got to do it manually. T.me. There we go. That's our Telegram link. Alrighty. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and get started. So today, Wednesday, June the 25th, it has been a very, very crazy days in the markets here. A lot of swinging moves with all this geopolitical news that's been coming out, all this headline information. So let's go ahead and check our calendars. So today at 10 a.m., Fed Chair Powell testifies. So if you guys were looking at Top Step yesterday, we did have a watch party where we're just, looking at the meetings, kind of going over together what's been, being said, giving our opinions, and just listening to other traders talk about what's going on in these meetings. So it's been pretty fun. Head over to Top Step today after class if you want some additional, education, just hearing about that. Okay, so remember, 10 a.m., Fed Chair Powell is going to testify. Alrighty, so why do we care about this? Ahead of the central bank, which controls short-term interest rates, he has more influence over the nation's currency value than any other person. So traders really scrutinize his public engagements as they are often used to drop subtle clues regarding future monetary policy. So do not make sure that you are aware of what's going on in the markets. I like to have a vertical line on my charts just because sometimes I get so zoomed in. And you guys remember, label, label, label. We're going to have, you never want to have just a whole bunch of different lines on your charts, vertical lines, horizontal lines, shaded boxes, and you're unaware, of what they are used for, especially if you mark your charts up in higher time frames. So label, label, label. All righty. So you know that when we come up on the market at this point in time, we are waiting for Fed child to Fed Chair Powell. Say that 10 times fast, right? To testify. Last night, okay, let's stay focused. Okay, so that's the only major news that we have going on today here, according to Forex Factory. If you're trading any currencies, looks like today's a pretty green day, a pretty good day to trade, as there's no high impact news. Let's see here. All right, Econo Day, kind of telling us the same thing. Let me paste this in the chat as well. Hey, Cherry. Haven't seen your beautiful face in a while. Where you been, girl? Where have you been? You guys, I was talking to Claire about it the other day. Before the year is over, we have to do an in-person link up. Even if it's somewhere to just like Vegas for a couple days and we just do a trade-a-thon, have fun, no sleep. Julie, hey, Julie. Julie, I was just telling everyone that, I miss you too, Cherry. We have to do a girls trading trip. I mean, I guess the guys are invited too if they want to come, but we have to just have a couple days, not anything like a boot camp or anything like that, but where we just link up, hitting the towns, trading all day, partying all night, and just linking up and having some good vibes. What do you guys think? Oh, Cherry. Oh, all right. Cherry and Julie, are y'all twins? You guys said it. That would be awesome. Sounds good. Okay, so cool. Let's make it happen. You know, right now is like summer. We have a lot of like beach trips plans with the family. We don't want to wait till the end of the year where we have like Thanksgiving and, Christmas and all that good stuff. So let's brainstorm in the chat. Let's kind of shoot for maybe September, October. We can stay stateside. We don't need to go out of the country or anything this year. Let's think about a Vegas, a California. I don't know. You guys drop some. Where would you guys go? What are some locations that you think we could do a little trip? Charlotte's always ready for a trip. Charlotte and myself as well. I can't wait to get out of Georgia anytime I can. Especially with my trading buddies. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Okay, Julie says Florida. As a Florida girl, I'm always in Florida, but I wouldn't mind somewhere nice. Maybe one of the islands there. Can't go wrong with going to the beach. I agree. All right, so we will put post it like a little sticky on this. We'll drop some ideas in the chat and then I'll start getting some dates ready. So let's do that this week. Let's kind of get some things, start brainstorming. Alrighty, so new hair. If you guys notice, I chopped it all off. Major chop. I feel amazing. Forehead is definitely on 1,000 now, but oh goodness, I feel so free. So anyone who's ever done a major chop, if you guys know how it feels, I'm feeling like that today as well. So it's been awesome. Had to let that hair go and start fresh. So that's awesome. Thanks, Charlotte. Okay, so Econo Day, we use this for more in-depth news as well. Not really too much going on as far as high impact news, besides Powell speaking. Remember, just have them up, have those headlines. I'm in the background. If you do Investopedia, Bloomberg, Yahoo Finance, whatever it is, make sure that you have that playing in the background somewhere so that you are alerted whenever, headlines come out, major events, anyone says something too crazy or good or bad, whatever it is, anyone can say just anything these days and it could move the market. So we just want to be alert. All right. So let's see here. Okay. Perfect. Let's go ahead and say our trading affirmations. We'll read our trading psychology as well. And then we're going to head straight into the markets. Right now, we are in an indecision area. So let's just look at that before we kind of go through. Don't want to miss out anything in the markets. I'm just going to put a Okay, so you guys know we're selling out of this box. This is the 5 minute time frame. We have kind of the market pushing down a little bit here. So we'll see if we put a fib from this low to this high. If we have a full retracement and have the market coming back down here to 61.50. Let me see where my trade is. All righty. Okay, perfect. Give me one moment. Do not follow. Should I stick to my trading plan? I should.
Order filled.
Alrighty, so in live time, we're just going to take a short, small trade here to the 50% area, which is 61.50. Couple bucks here. Have a tight stop here at 51.67. Just waiting to see if, the market breaks out of this zone. We have a retracement before continuing in this uptrend as we're expecting the market to continue. So if I'm out $100, no big deal. Account still intact, but I did want to try to catch this move before fully analyzing the market. Alrighty, so our trading affirmations, you guys say it with me, and I'm going to drop them in the chat. So if you guys wanted to say these with me. Oh, it won't let me drop it. Okay. Oh, that's because I am over. Okay. No big deal. ICT Shadow Trader says, trade gold. It is better for you. Oh, we definitely trade gold. Definitely trade gold. I loved gold structure. Y'all tell ICT Trader. We aren't new to this. Gold is amazing. We can go over gold today as well if you guys like. Gold holds amazing structure. Okay, trading affirmations. I am becoming more intelligent every day. I am a well-informed trader. Sorry, guys. I am a well-informed trader. I'm confident in my ability to make money in the market. I trust my analysis, and every trade is an opportunity for growth and learning. I understand the importance of proper risk management. I am a disciplined trader, making calm and rational decisions. My mind is focused, my decisions are precise, and success is my daily companion. I am so happy and grateful that money comes to me from multiple sources on a consistent basis. If you guys are feeling that, if that's helped you to get into a good mindset, throw some 8s in the chat. Let's see if you guys are with me. Let's see if you're focused. And let's head on over to our trading psychology. Ty's feeling that 8. Ty, we cannot wait. Let's shout out Ty. Let's throw some love before we go any further. Let's throw some love to Ty in the chats for taking her payout there. It's coming. It's coming. She's requested. She has made a killing in the markets. We're going to put her business out. We did already in the chat room, but we're going to put it out on YouTube. But I'm talking about 5 figures there coming from my girl. She's been here. She's doing amazing. And it just takes patience. It's a lot of patience here. It's consistent learning. But once we get that under, down pack, our time will come. Isn't that right? Everyone's so excited for you too, Ty. So that's amazing. That is amazing. Let's see here. Julie, don't forget. We didn't forget about you either, Julie. You promised us that yacht trip. We're supposed to be on a yacht with you like ASAP. Y'all can't be making all this money and not taking the girlies out. Alrighty, so 3 ways to prevent sabotaging your trading success. Let's drop this link here in the chat. It's from Baby Pips. Just a quick 3-minute read before we hop on the charts. Julie's working on that. All right, cool. Alrighty, perfect. So let's think about these three ways, and we want to see if we've ever done this in our trading journey. And we want to go back to feeling how we felt when we sabotage that, so that if it happens in the future and those emotions come up, in the future, and we subconsciously, sabotage our trading success, we can recognize those. Our brains can recognize that emotion, understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, and what ways we need to make to correct these actions and not do that, anymore. Okay, so as silly as it sounds, the fear of success is as real as the fear of failure for some Forex or futures traders. Oh, that really spoke to me. Does that speak to you? Fear of success. Who would have thought about that? That there could be fear of success. Alrighty. In fact, I would argue that it is more detrimental than the latter because it is rooted in the subconscious. We all know how our subconscious mind works, right? Everybody says that they want to be successful, but some people fear the change that success may bring. The idea is not as silly as it sounds if you really think about it. With success comes higher expectations. For example, an athlete who just ran a mile in under six. Take, for example, an athlete who just ran a mile in under 6 minutes. Chances are that the athlete will set the bar high on his next run and try to surpass his performance. Ooh. This builds pressure on him to perform better than the last time. For some people, this is enough to keep them from even trying. The athlete might fear that if he tries again, he would come up short and start thinking that perhaps the first time was a fluke. So he would just rather sit on the sidelines. These situations aren't that rare. After all, most of us grew up being told that if we need that we need to give it our all, avoid losing, and always strive to be winners. This pressure to succeed makes trading all the more difficult because even though you give your best, you could never completely avoid losses, and you can't win all of your trades. I guess you can say that the fear of success is rooted in anxiety of being on the wrong side of the trade. Ooh, got it right. I gotta copy that one as well. Let's say that again for those people in the back. The fear of success is rooted in the anxiety of being on the wrong side of the trade. I often hear stories of Forex traders passing on the chance to pull the trigger on a setup they're familiar with because they think their analysis could be wrong. A couple of hours later, they beat themselves up for not taking trades that could have been winners. So, what can we do to overcome the fear of success and prevent ourselves from sabotaging our progress? Woo. Oh my gosh. That was a lot. So let's go into number 1. Okay. Focus on the process instead of the profits. Alrighty, so we want to focus on the process instead of the profits. And what do we mean by that? The problem with many traders is that they focus way too much on monetary results of their trading. Once they hit a losing streak, their confidence gets shattered, and this negatively affects the way they trade. Sometimes they result in taking cowboy trades or refrain from taking forex setups or future setups that they would normally take. The solution to this is to keep the potential profits or losses out of mind and make sure that you follow your trading plans. By doing so, not only will the pressure to perform lighten up, but you will learn what can be improved with your trading plan and methods, which improves your chances of long term success. Okay, so how many people has this ever sabotaged your trading where you should have gotten out, for instance, you should have gotten out of the trade, but instead if you would have gotten out of the trade right now, it's hit your TP, you only would have gotten, say, $100. But you want to hold on to it more, see if it goes another 10 points so that you can grab some extra money. And what happens? You lose your trade because you didn't follow your process. You take a loss because you were focusing on the money, or you made your stop loss too tight because you didn't want to risk as much money, but you knew that that area was an area where there was a lot of movement and that wasn't a good area for your trade stop loss. But monetary wise, as far as loss and just your risk, you place your trade there. So it goes both ways. What are some other examples that other people that you guys have where you focused on the profits instead of the process? So remember, there's a couple different ways also too in your trades that you can, for instance, on Top Step, instead of kind of showing, these monetary values here, you can switch over and have the ticks. So you can just show like 5 ticks in profit, 10 ticks out of profit, things like that, points and things like. So it takes out you're not seeing the money there. You're just, focusing on in profit, out of profit. It just really helps you just to stay with structure. And I believe it's in your settings. And let's see here. I forget how we did that. Let's play around. Oh, here it goes. Okay. So can you guys see this, or is this really small? Let me try to see if I can zoom in. Kelly says we're going to Florida. If y'all want to go to Florida, we could, as long as I guess we can go to Miami or Orlando. I want to go to the Keys. I haven't been to the Keys yet, but yeah, we're going somewhere, Kelly. We're going somewhere. Alrighty, so here we go. So chart value display type. We have dollar. You can put it in ticks. You can have it displayed in percentage, or you can have it displayed in points. So let's see here. If we have our chart displayed in points, so helps us to focus again on the process and not the profits. This is how our charts would look. Oh, well, I'm not in a trade. Let's just see here. We just put in a stop. Let's get activated.
Order filled.
Now, do you see how it just shows us we're risking 4 points to gain 4 points? We don't see, of course, up here, if you'd like to look at your profit and loss, it would tell you up at the top there. However, while you are trading here, you're just focused on points. It takes the monetary values off of your charts, and that can definitely help us to gain more focus in the markets. Okay. Alrighty, keep an open mind. Always keep in mind that market behavior is always changing, which means that you will have to adjust your trading as well. Don't be afraid to feel like a noob, meaning a newbie, a new person in the market, and accept the fact that there will be a lot of instances where the Forex market will prove you wrong. If you stubbornly hold on to your trading style system in a ranging market just to prove your system works, you will be burned badly. Learn to let go of your need to always be right. This will relieve you of the pressure of always being successful and will free your mind to focus on what's happening in the markets and adjust accordingly. That's why you guys hear me say all the time, because I have to remind myself as well, I don't care about being right. My job is not to be right. My job is to take good trades, and taking good trades sometimes means that I take a loss. So we want to keep an open mind. We're not forming a bias. That's why we play we play a game. That's why we do it within our analysis. If the market does this, we do that. If the market does this, we do that. So if it, we have to keep an open mind. It keeps us looking at the market with fresh eyes and not wanting to be right, but rather just following the market. in whatever ways that is, right? Let me read the chat here. Destin. Oh, guys, I'm going to Destin. I love Destin. I can go to Destin again. I'm going to Destin in a couple weeks. Okay. Let's see. That's where all your dive family is. Key West. Ooh, I would love to go diving in Key West. Julie, we might have to hit you up. And she has a great place we could stay. Okay, Florida peeps. Okay, Charlotte says, where did you go for that? And she found it. So you found that, Charlotte. Again, just go over here in your settings. And then from your settings, go over to charts and data. And over here where it says chart value display type, hit your arrow. It's typically going to be dollars, and you can change that information at that point. Perfect. Alrighty, last one. Set realistic goals. Not only do goals represent your expectations, but they can also help close the gap between your aspirations and reality. If you set unrealistic expectations, like winning every single trade, for example, you may be setting yourself up for a ton of disappointment. This could spiral into a negative mental state and affect your decision-making abilities. By setting goals, you can begin to distinguish how far you are away from realizing them. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes to reach those futures goals? If not, it might be best to readjust your expectations. At the same time, though, don't sell yourself short. The best traders do not think about failure. They set difficult but reachable goals, knowing that this will also serve as motivation for them to keep pushing forward. In the end, it will all come down to how much you believe in yourself. Successful traders are ones who set plans and stick to them. They know why they're trading and use this fuel to fuel their motivation and help themselves rise above all of the challenges they may encounter. Successful traders do not back down from success. They plan for it and embrace it, right? I love this about setting realistic goals, which is why I always push for you guys to have a trading plan, which is why with my students, when I do tutoring, that's one of the main things that we focus on is setting a plan, making a trading plan. How many of you guys have a trading plan? If you have a trading plan, put a 1 in the charts. If you don't have a trading plan, but you're going to make one, or put a 2 in the charts. Now, I'm talking about not something in your head that oh, my plan is to come in the markets and make money. No, I'm talking about, and I guess that's what I will share next week. Let me write this down. I'm going to share my trading plan just to give everyone an idea. It's really in depth. It's a couple of pages. It includes everything. When the market's ranging, what do I do? What pairs do I trade? What's my lot size? Sorry about that. All of that information. Sorry, that just threw me off. But we definitely had to have a trading plan, and also too making sure those goals are realistic. I remember teaching a student. They had a $500 account at the time. This is a couple years back, and their goal was to make $1,000 every week. And but they only had a couple hours to trade every day. Now, that's doable. We've seen people flip money all the time, flip, your accounts there. Was that a realistic goal though? Because it's very high, as far as the profit target there. And then the amount in the account didn't really give much wiggle room to account for losses and things like that. So we want to make sure that we're setting realistic goals. Also, Ty, tell me if this helped you. So I was talking to Ty before a couple weeks ago. We were talking about how to get her back on her trading plan. I mean, get back in the motion of the market. And we actually scaled back. And I told her goals were, let's just say, this high. And I was like, how about we just focus on making this amount of money in the markets every day. Obviously, it works. Sometimes scaling back helps you to move forward. I've done that as well. Coming out of combines, I've been, you can make $1,500 a day. There's been days I've passed combines with Top Step, 2 days, 3 days. So then when I go into my live account now, I really want to mimic that. And I was setting up my goals as $1,500 profit every day. Great. However, if I had days where I made $200, $500, $700, I still was beating myself up because I did not reach my goal. So we have to be realistic and remind ourselves that every day is not going to be a green day. That doesn't make you as a trader. That doesn't break you as a trader. But we have to make sure that we're staying consistent in the market, that we're being realistic in our goals, and that we give ourselves some wiggle room. Okay. Alrighty. So we have some trading plans in here. Ty says one, but it needs to be refined, and that's fine. At least you have something written down. When we write things down, we have steps, we have something to go off of. And sometimes every 6 months, you might have to revise your trading plan. You might add a pair. Your account balance might grow to such a point where you can, increase your lot size and things of that sort. So how do you guys feel about this? How do you guys feel about looking at these 3 ways to prevent sabotaging your trading success? If you're like me, you've done all 3 of these things, focused on profits instead of the process, not keeping an open mind and forming a bias and sticking to it and wanting to be right, and setting crazy goals, as far as trying to push myself and having that pressure, self-inflicted pressure on, maintaining this, not losing any trades. So it's a lot. We can self-sabotage in just these 3 minor little ways here. But now that we are aware of these ways, we can identify them so that they aren't happening subconsciously. How do you guys feel about that? Y'all ready to head over to the charts? Kelly says she loves it. Drop some hearts. Hit that little heart button there for me, guys. Let's go ahead and head into the charts. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we can head on over and let's start making some money in the markets. Sorry, I'm just being nosy, looking out, see what the neighbors are doing. They ain't doing nothing. Or are they? Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's get our charts together here. Pull out your broker. If you're using your futures, your Ninja charts, Ninja Trader, or anything like that, pulling out those charts. If you're using still in the Forex market and you're with those brokers, cool. Whatever the case is, you can use this strategy. For any pair and any type of trading here. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and start from the beginning. So what is the strategy that I use? My strategy is a 10-20 EMA cross on the 15-minute time frame. Simple. 10-20 cross on the 15-minute time frame. I like to stay with the trend. So if we have, let's do it in live time. Okay. So this looks a little crazy here because we were ranging in this area. So let's go ahead and choose a different area as setting our example here. So typically I like to stick with the trend here. So if we have a cross where our 20, let's see, let me put up this key here, which will tell us our 20 is this orange line here. Our 10 EMA is this blue line here. And when our 20 crosses our 10, that is a selling signal for me. I would like to keep with those sells here. And then when we have the 10 crossing our 20 EMA to the upside, that signifies a buy. I then use my pivotal zones and my RSI to help me get into great trade locations, and my take profit and stop loss directions in conjunction, of course, with candlestick patterns. So a lot goes, so it's a simple strategy, and I just use a couple different indicators for to help me find my entries, my exits, and for confirmation of the trend. Sound easy enough? Sound easy enough, right? Okay. However, when we're ranging like this, and let me clear this up here. Alrighty, so let me just clear up our charts here, delete some of this information so that we can see everything clearly. Alrighty, so let's zoom out to the 4 hour. Ooh, a lot of stuff on our charts here from last week. We've been in this uptrend. Price has just been making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and continuing, to just push forward here. We had this little sideways movement, and then the market broke out of these highs here, continued to make higher highs. We had a pivotal level shift, and now our R8 is here at 62.50. So on the higher time frames, now we have our new price points. Let me go ahead and clear up some of this noise here. Okay. And again, just our highs and our lows on the 4 hour. A couple areas of interest, in those price points. One second here. Okay, so on the 4 hour, we have now, again, I only use my crosses on not only use them. My strategy uses the crosses from the 15-minute time frame. However, when you're looking at the other time frames, these crosses can help you to identify the trend. So 4 hour trend, we have our 10 EMA crossing our 20 EMA. Is that a buy signal or buy trend or a sell? Buy or sell? 10 crossing our 20 right here. Drop it in the chat to see if we're all paying attention. I'm telling you guys, you will learn faster with being interactive because it's going to stick. Even if you're wrong, if we could be wrong in the markets, if that's such a thing. Buy. There we go. All righty. And as we can see here on the 4 hour, we have areas where we have support. Areas where we, profit, the market just kind of bounces around for a little bit, then makes higher highs, forms a new area of support, and so on and so forth. So we're just climbing higher, making those higher highs and higher lows. If we're looking at our 4 hour time frame, what is our next, and using our, why is it doing that? Using our pivotal zones for our next take profit to the buy side. What is our next take profit level on the 4 hour time frame? Look at your pivotal zones. If you're looking for the week or where you're going to be scalping your trades up for this buy, what's your overall price point that you're looking for the market to go to? Right here on our charts, drop that number in the chat, our next price point. Our R6, exactly, 61.72. So we're setting up our trades for our buy. The market may not, reach this level this week, might not reach it next week, but at least we have a profit target. So our R6 on the 4-hour, 61.72. Let's go ahead and notate this as well in our notes really quickly here. Okay. So 4-hour take profit is our R6, which is 61.72. Alrighty, perfect. So we are in a buy trend on the 4-hour. Our next take profit area is our R6, 61.72. Perfect. Okay, let's look at our 1-hour time frame now. We're doing this is a top-down analysis. So we are zooming out, getting all the information that we need as far as any major areas of support, resistance, key levels, price points. We're going to take all that information from a higher time frame, which has more structure, which leads us, that's the leader. And then we'll zoom into the smaller time frames to gain our entry, to perfect, our entry into the market. But we have to get this information on the higher time frames first. All righty. And then even within your support and marking and labeling your charts, you can still label those. Where are you seeing most of that support? Even though support on the 4-hour can also be a major area of support on the 1-hour as well. So you just say that 4 and 1-hour support area zones, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Does everyone see why this area here is support? Let's see if I can turn off all. You guys see why this area here, we have our support 61.40 kind of in this zone here because the market comes to this area. The sellers are unable to take the markets lower and push it below 31.40, 31.35, within this area, and it bounces up. It tries again. Remember, these are 1-hour candles. So it's tried a couple times to push the market below this level, and it has not been able to do so. So this is an area of support. Look at our highs here. So kind of in the 41.50 area. Buyers were unable to push that. They tried, came back down, and they sold. And again, 41.50, this kind of zone here, seen as resistance. And then we had this huge engulfing candle and just continue to push in the price. And then the market just continued to push price forward and upward here. So, and that's what happens. That's why we like to show our support and our resistance areas, because that's what's going to happen. It's going to test this zone a couple different times, all the way from Tuesday at 1 p.m. It was unable to break above this level until Wednesday at 7 a.m. So we're expecting support to just do that, and we take our buys here. So ideally, in this support area, look at our RSI, guys, because we're going to talk this through. I don't want to give you guys just areas to buy, areas to sell. We're going to talk this out so that you guys, when we get off of this call, you can get into the markets on your own. Okay, give me 1 second here. Looking at our RSI, which would have been the area here to get into this buy? Did our RSI tell us at this candlestick here that it was ready? According to our RSI, when would we have gotten a good entry into the market? What price point or what level? Let's do A. This is A. This is B.
Order filled.
Or C. Oh, I guess I got knocked out of that trade. Market didn't retrace, instead made higher highs. That's fine. A, B, or C. When did the RSI give us confirmation of buying momentum? A, B, or C? Make this a little higher. Okay, we have a C from Ty. We have a B from Charlotte. So, and a C. Okay, so now that you see it a little, Charlotte, do you see now that I've like made this RSI a little clearer here, a little bigger here? Do we see how we would have gotten not so kind of I'm wrong. It actually would have been kind of here in the middle, kind of when we would have gotten this cross up here, but it's the closest. The closest answer here is C. We had a green candle. We got our RSI to start giving us some buying momentum, meaning we had a cross here to the upside. So yes, but Charlotte, again, even if you would have chosen B, they're still in the same price area. So this is still 61.45, kind of in this area. It's still in the same price zone, except you would have gotten into the buy here. You would have had a little bit of selling, at this point. This just gave us, if we would have waited to get in around 7 o'clock instead of, here at 4 a.m., our trade just ended up taking off to the upside faster. We got that confirmation. We weren't sitting around here waiting. We just waited until our RSI came down and then crossed back up in this level. We got some crosses here, but this is still overbought. We're still in an overbought area. So we want to wait till and this is our medium zone here. It came here to the medium and then continue to cross to buy. So perfect. You guys are doing great. Okay, so let's head on over to the 15-minute. So, all right, sorry. 1 minute. 1 hour. What's our trend on the 1 hour? According to our 1020 cross, are we still in our buy trend? Yes or no? Throw some hearts up, throw some thumbs. Are we still in our buy trend on the 1 hour according to our 1020 EMA cross? Perfect. Where is our next TP on the one? Where's our next take profit area on the 1 hour time frame? Where is, according to our pivotal zones, where is our next area that the market has the potential to go? Yep, our R6, which is still 61.72 on the 1 hour time frame as well. So we have our R6 on the 1 hour and on the 4 hour aligning and giving the same price point. So that's pretty strong. That's a pretty strong area. Our higher time frames are giving us the same information. So cool. Alrighty, 15-minute time frame. What are we doing on the 15-minute time frame? 15-minute time frame was consolidating. Let's clean it up a little bit. We were ranging. So This was our low here around 61.40. Price was able to come up here to 61.55 and then back again down to 61.40 and just bouncing around once again, seeing our support very clearly here in this area until again price broke above 51.55 here, making a higher high. And now we are still in a buy trend, just breaking out of this consolidation range. Did everyone see that? Well, let's see here. Was that clearer for you guys to see on a naked chart or on a labeled chart? Put an N if you see it clearly on a naked, more clearer on a naked chart, and put an L in the chat if you see this more clearly on a labeled chart, just so that I can see exactly how you guys are spotting patterns in the market. Sometimes label charts can be a little overwhelming. A lot of information, overstimulation, a lot of colors, a lot of lines. Okay, yep, you guys like the naked charts. Exactly. You're able to see it now. And so a lot of times that's what I do. I start with the naked chart just so I can see that those support and resistance levels. And then that's when I label those things moving forward, so that when I'm scalping throughout the day, I already have all that information there. I don't need to label things, worry about, okay, is this a key level? Was this support in the past? Is the market going to break through this area? Okay, so you guys are naked charters. Okay. Skinny dippers. We got some skinny dipping traders in our chat. Okay. Sure. That's cool. All right. So so we are on the 15-minute time frame. We are in a buy here. The market has broken out of this ranging kind of element here. Sorry, this ranging kind of zone here. It's made higher highs. We have our cross as well. Finally, we have our 10 crossing our 20 EMA. All righty, let's give some more zones here for the for our 15-minute time frame. What are our next take profit levels here? TP, we've already reached the R6, so we're already at that 61.57 level. Our next take profit is now going to be at our R7, which is 61.60. If price continues to push higher, what is our next take profit point? TP1, what's TP2? What's TP2, guys? Sorry, just managing a trade on Oanda. Getting this stuff together. Our R8, perfect. And that R8 price point is 61.62 if you're trading futures. Perfect. So if you had your trading buddy, you guys, let's do a hypothetical. You had your trading buddy. You guys are both your trading buddy is trading ES and your trading buddy is in a sell. Kind of like what I was in at the beginning of this, trying to catch that pullback, which is always risky, but when it works out for me, it works out pretty well. So I don't mind risking, but let's just say, we're not talking about me. We're talking about your trading buddy. Your trading buddy's in ES, and now they're like, oh yeah, I'm in this sell. I'm in an ESL. I'm going to sell this baby on down to 61.45. What would you tell your trading buddy who is selling ES right after you've done your analysis, your top-down analysis, and saw that there was buying trend on the 4-hour, buying on the 1-hour? The 15-minute also had a buying trend as well, as far as with the EMA cross, everything's making higher highs. What are some things you could tell your trading friend? Would you be like, hey, why the heck are you in sells, and show them all the areas that they should be in a buy? It's buying. Beware. Exactly. Beware. If they're looking for a counter trend trade, so this is kind of what I was looking, well, it hasn't happened yet, but if you're looking for a counter trend trade, what you're waiting for is, the market to pull back to this area and then continue to buy. If they said, well, they're in a counter trend trade, you would tell your friend, all right, well, make sure you have reduced your risk. Keep a tight stop. If you see your friend with 5 contracts, you might want to tell your friend, hey, friend, remember your trading plan. You don't take counter trend trades at your full lot size. Scale it back. Get out of it. Get out of it, right? Yeah, we definitely have to talk it out. We definitely have to talk it out, because if you think about it, it's not like we're in an office where we're all trading together like we will be for our trip, in a couple months. But, and especially if you're doing other things, there's not many opportunities that we have with each other to talk out trades while they're happening. It's all cool. We can say, oh, guess what? I caught this 100-point move. Sure, you did. That sounds nice after the fact, but talking it out live while it's going on in the markets, while we're managing our trades, while we're looking at our risk management, all together. And remember, just because, I could be in a counter trend trade, I can be in profit. You could be looking for, that buy. You could have been in the buy from down here at the S0, and you could be in profit as well. We want to know our whys. Why are we in this trade? So talking that out and figuring out while you're in this trade, what you're looking for, what your friend is seeing, because even if I'm in a buy, you might be in a sell, but me explaining to you why I am in this position can help clarify your position as well. Does that make sense? Once you see what I'm looking at in the market, compare it to what you're looking at in the market, you're not going to change your trade. But if I am looking for this buy and I'm talking to my friend and they're in a counter trend trade and they're looking to take this baby down to 61.50, they've explained all their reasoning. We've seen it on smaller time frames. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. There may be a pullback here. That will then trigger something, because again, if I'm in this buy, that will tell me, oh, okay, well, there may be a pullback coming to the 61.50. Let me move my stop into profit, a little bit above this area, just so that I am protecting my trade. So conflicting information, don't make it so that it sways your confidence in your trade. Take that information and use it with your trade. You don't want, and oh God, I'm blabbering, but basically, you ever been in a buy, someone says they're in a sell, and then, you're like, oh my God, let me get out of this. No. And then your trade goes into profit there, so no, you don't do that. You have confidence in your trade. If you get stopped out, you get stopped out. Your risk management is your risk management. You can take information and use it to your benefit without flopping, back and forth. Yep, not after the fact. That doesn't really help us. It is nice to, talk to each other and say, oh my God, did y'all catch this move? That was so cool. But it's actually, more beneficial to all of us to say, even if it's something like, you guys look at NAS right now, look at gold right now. and let everyone just alert everyone to a bigger move happening, just so that we all have, this is an opportunity to get in the trade. Someone might be working, someone might be, watching a show or cooking. They didn't have their timers, their alerts set. So coulda, shoulda, woulda is cool. We love to look at back testing and seeing how our trades played out, but we want to make sure that we're all catching these trades in live time. You telling me what you caught 2 hours ago and not letting me know that I could have caught that too, giving me that alert, it's gonna make me a little salty, because like, dang sis, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you at least say Nas is making a move, head to the charts, burn, 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 with some big alarms, But it's all good. That happens to me too. Sometimes I'm just super focused in the charts and I forget to alert my crew. But we'll be much more conscious of that, right, guys? And making sure that we are all looking at the markets, whether if it's gold, if it's US 30, whatever it is, right? All righty. So we're on the 15-minute. There's that buy trend. We are at 9:20, 9:12. Okay, so we see the market forming this kind of consolidation as it does around this time here. Let's go ahead and form our box. Or it happens in seconds and it's gone, Julie. Yep, that does happen as well. That definitely happens. It's like, whoa, wait a second, dang. Or by the time you get to the chat to let everyone know it's wick back and your entry, it can get a little crazy. But when I'm saying we're alerting each other to potential moves in the market, you're not telling me get in at this area for the sell, get in at this area for this buy. I'm not saying we need to be doing all that. What I'm saying is just letting each other know, hey, there's a move that's happening on ES. There's a move that's happening with gold. And then we can take our grown selves to that chart. If it's a trade that, a pair that, or a product that we trade, and look for our entries with our own strategies. But need that little heads up, y'all, sometimes. Okay, so here we go. We have our kind of consolidation box. Some people might move their boxes to just include the tops and bottoms of the opening and closing, portions of those candles. Others include the wicks, because wicks matter too, as it is price information. I like to use the candle bodies here just because it just helps me to see when the market is moving, giving us a break. We want to candle open and close above those areas. So that's how I form my boxes there. Still, I would need a confirmation of this sell after I would see price kind of going below these lows, meaning below 51.62. However, when I'm looking at these wicks, let's look at the story that these wicks are telling. On our naked charts, y'all little nakeders, okay? What is our wicks telling us? Says that this first candle here shows that the sellers tried to bring price below 61.53. It was unable to do so. Then this next candle, the sellers were able to, bring it a little lower. And this third 15-minute candle here at 8:30, the sellers were able to bring price down to 61.52.50. So that's the ultimate low there, 61.52.50. But then look at our next candles. This next candle was unable to bring it lower than 61.52.50. And then the 15-minute candle after that was unable to make it lower, to bring it lower as well. So it's kind of, telling us the story that the sellers tried to bring price lower. They were unable to do so. And so now buyers are trying to continue to push this price up here and continue on to our next levels, 61.60 and then 61.62. So we'll see what happens at this point. Are we pushing below this area? And remember, sometimes, especially during this time, there's a lot. Just think about if you were in this buy here. You have a lot of people who have their stops placed in this area. You also have, pending orders for the sells and pending orders for buys as well in this area. So when we have these key areas of interest, it's not uncommon to see the market come down here, push a little bit below. So this was like 61.52. You can even see the market kind of push the price down to 61.50, grabbing all of those orders here and then continuing in that trend. What will tell us if the market is going to do that is going down to the lower time frames. Does everyone throw some 8s in the chat if you guys understand what the market can have the potential to do when breaking out of this box? Because there are fake outs, but I want us to understand what those fake outs are, like what's happening at that level. The market isn't really just faking us out just to fake us out. It's grabbing orders before continuing to push forward. Okay, so we have our box here. Our RSI is oversold. We are near this New York Open. So let's go down to the 5-minute time frame. We have a couple different things that can happen. So let's talk it out. We can go into this long up here, take profit at this 51.60, 61.62, keeping a tight stop here. That could occur. Even if you want to bring it in, just do like a 1-to-1, which seems like the best type of trade to take at this time, where you're just risking there, just getting in and out. Or this can happen. We could take that short down to this next level. Where will we take this short to? This is when our Fibonacci's come into place. I'm going to take it down to the 50 or the 61.8. However, we're at the R6, so we have to be very cautious. Usually price doesn't do a pullback, full pullback at those levels. Kind of wait till we get to the R8. But again, we're just going to follow the flow of the market. Now that we know what the market has the potential to do, you can either go into a buy or a sell, right? But we have, if the market does go into a buy, we know exactly what would trigger that buy. We would need to break and make a higher high. And then we know, boom, okay, once we get that break, that's our confirmation where we'll be taking our trade. If we have a pivotal shift, then we can adjust our pivots when that happens. If we were looking for a sell, what do we need? We know exactly what we would need for that sell to be activated. Of course, it would be, a break of this support level here, and then taking your, oh goodness, what did I do? Break of that support there, and then taking your trade down to the 50 or the 61.8 level, depending on, and now that's when you're watching your trades, because then you can see pivotal shifts, to see if there's more momentum, to see if you can adjust your take profit to the next point. So we'll do that in live time together. Does everyone have their trades mapped out? Do they know? Does everyone kind of have an idea whether if you're trading ES or if you're trading gold or if you're trading NAS right now, what you're going to be looking for that sell, what you're going to be looking for that buy, and what is needed in order for that trade to be activated? What are your confirmations? If you have your confirmation of your trades, if you're with me, just drop some hearts, just showing that we are engaged. We're here. I'm not talking to myself. All right, y'all are with me. Cool. Awesome. Make sure if you guys are with me, please like the channel, subscribe, like the video. Definitely helps the channel. Okay, so let's go down to, we have our 15-minute. Now let's go down to our 5-minute time frame. Okay, again, this was a trade that I set up last night. I was wicked out of that trade. I moved my stop into profit before class because I knew I wasn't going to be able to manage it. Oh no, I had it at 51. Let me check before I just speak out of turn. I don't want to. Let me look here. Well, we'll look here. Let's see. Okay. All right. So this trade is it's over. Now, this was something that I took at like 12 a.m. Are you guys up? If I would have dropped this, look at me talking and I'm doing the same thing. If I would have dropped this trade idea in the chats around 12, would you guys have seen that? Would you guys have been alerted? Would anyone have taken this this idea? It was around 11:05. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, let's clean it up. Let's clean it up. That already happened. That's cool. I'm done with that. Okay, so we are at the 5-minute time frame. Now we can adjust our box a little bit more. Now we're able to see things a little more clearer. We see that we had our cross down here at 61.46. Now we're just waiting for the market to break out of this consolidating range, either to the upside or to the downside. What is our 5-minute telling us? We're seeing, okay, so one thing about, let me back it up. One thing about our EMAs and our crosses here is that we want to see there be a lot of space in between, our EMAs here. That's giving us the indication that that price is in a great trend and pushing either to the upside or even let's find a good selling. Okay, nice and spread out here. Once we start to see our EMAs kind of get a little bit closer together, that might signify that the market is trying to do a little cross here. So again, with the consolidation, we want to be wary. When you see the market kind of becoming, our EMAs kind of becoming more crunched together like that, that may be an indication for you to set up your alerts at your high, set up an alert at your low, and waiting for price to break below those points before you even get into the market. Imagine if you were just waiting from 750, it's all the way 920, and we were just sitting here waiting. Oh, what's going on? When is it going to get out of this range? No, set your alerts. You already know what you're looking for when it breaks out of that box to either side, so you can go and live your life. Okay, so, all righty, let's see what the 1 minute is telling us. 1 minute is up here at the R8. This whole box kind of here is the R8 to the S0. So it's just been coming up here to the R8, kind of trying to drop back down, just bouncing around. We still don't have a confirmation on the 1 minute either right now. So it is 9:25. Ty says I would have been knocked out. Yes, I almost kind of was, but I had been looking at some trades around 12. I was binge watching this really good show. I don't really have time to watch too many shows, but the show got me in a chokehold. It's called We Were Liars on Amazon Prime. So I was watching that and time just flew past. And of course, my laptop was there in bed. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. Let's get a nice trending trade here for this midnight hour. That is a kill zone. We'll talk about that. Maybe I should drop that in the charts to talk about kill zones. All right. So now that we have all of our information, we know that we're looking for sells, but I'm sorry, we're looking for buys. If the market does break into a sell, it's a counter trend trade. We know exactly what price point based on fib levels we'd be looking to take that trade to. And of course, knowing that we would not be going into that with our full lot size, with our full position size there. All right. Any questions before we head on over to Top Step to place these trades here in our account? I'll give you guys a couple minutes to write that in the chat. And I'm going to look at pull up our other assets here, see if they give us an indication of what move SPX may make. Is ICT Trader still here? Let's pick up gold. Let's pull out gold here. I need to get some music flowing on here so I'm not just talking to myself. Well, you guys have been pretty good in the chat, so I appreciate that. Alrighty, so let's see here too. Alrighty, so gold has hit this. Well, let's see. This may just be in a. So I made a big mistake. All right, so gold, this is our 1 hour time frame. It was at the R8, just making lower lows. It's hitting this 800 EMA, which kind of acts as support. In an uptrend, we see that, see here, like in the past, and it's kind of hard to see. Let's move these other babies out the way. It's kind of just use this area as this 200 EMA, 800 EMA, which is our purple EMA, as support here, just making higher highs. Price has crossed below this area, so we may see this coming down here to 33.06 or 33.01, just being very cautious as this is an area of support. So we might just, and it's near these 50%. So if this market is going to do a move kind of like this, where it just made this downtrend, made lower lows, and then now pulled back, started to make the higher highs so that it can continue in that uptrend. But right now it's just pulling back, pull back to this. This is the 50% area. So with our fibs, so we just want to be very careful here. We'll see how this 30-minute candle opens up. Ding, 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 ding. All righty, New York open. Let's pay attention here. All right, so price is still just in our box. Hit the highest point at 61.56. Came down here to hit 61.53. And again, we just want to make sure that it comes up. All right. Looks like it's out of this box. We are buying, buying, buying. What's your next level, guys? Do you see how we had that pivotal shift? And our R7 came up here to 61.61. And our R8 is now 61.62. Let's see. Alrighty. And that was the same on our 15-minute time frame. All right, so let's go ahead. Broken out of our box. Turn off my top step levels really quickly here. VWAP, just trying to clean it up a little bit. You guys know I love a good pending order. Okay, so I'm going to go down here. I'm going to show you guys how I would get into this buy for myself. Remember, price might come down here and touch these lows before continuing. However, we are oversold on the 5-minute, 15 minutes still bouncing around here. So I don't want to get wicked in. So I'm just going to move it just a tiny bit. Looks like we're going into
Order
our buy.
filled.
Here we go. Now we're taking it up to what point? 61.62. So just about 5 points there. Once price breaks above 61.60, I guess I'll add to my position. Let's get that confirmation. If price goes below this lowest point here, so this is the lowest point being 61.52.25, definitely want to be out of the market there. Well, almost a 1-to-1 here. Remember, we have news at 10. I'm going to be very careful. Again, risking 5 more points. How do you guys feel about it just showing our points here instead of a monetary value? Does that help to take kind of some of the fear out of this trade? I am risking 137 points there. Of course, if price comes back below this level, even though I'd be out, it's like, why would I risk having my trade, push any lower here? Might as well just be out, make back up my monies. All right, so we're looking at, so this is our 5. Let's go ahead and put our 5-minute chart here. It's doing what it's going to do. I'm just wicking in that box here. And our wrinkle charts are here on the 3-minute time frame. And remember, our wrinkle charts, just these little bars here, help us to stick with the momentum of, the current trend. So right now, we've been having these huge green boxes here, just showing that price is making higher highs. If we get that, lower, if price makes a lower low, we will start to get our red boxes here. However, price has just been making steady higher highs. We've been getting these green boxes as confirmation, which helps us, which can, help us to stay in the trade, because it just gives us some more confidence that, yes, market is still buying. We're still in a buy trend. Just give it some time. We still have, buying momentum, even though we are near the oversold area here on our RSI. Still nice and juicy there. Lots of color there. So that makes me feel confident to stay in this buy. Let's look at our, alrighty, 5-minute here. And see, I'm so glad I have this vertical line, because I would, if you guys weren't here, I would have just been trading away. Still, I would have totally forgot that there was news at 10. That wouldn't have even been on my radar because I would have been just focusing on, hitting my goals, getting in, perfecting my entries. So, okay, so we have our setup for ES, so S&P 500. You guys are definitely, we've done our market trade training in our live sessions here so that we can see how to manage our trades in live times, how to set them up, what we're looking for when, our trade does go into profit, or, take profit points are hit. What are we looking for next? So we have all of that information here. Let's just look at the Dow, see what the Dow is telling us, and then I will let you guys go. An hour and a half class. Did anyone take some great trades while we were in class today? Let us know in the chats. If anyone is in a trade, let us know as well. I am in just so that we can support each other. Maybe if I know you are in a gold trade and I'm trading gold as well, if I have some questions, I might hit you up like, oh, okay, are you still in that gold trade? And we talk about it. Ties and gold. Okay, so you're in this sell. That thing is definitely coming down. Okay, so let's look at the 1 minute to see if the 1 minute has a pivotal shift to give us some more information. Okay, so it is near the S1, S0. So gold is near the S1, S0 on, let's see, the 3 minute, the 1 minute, the 5 minute as well. So take that with a grain of salt, but our 15 minute still shows that it has selling, has some ways to go. It could hit this S1 or this S0, but it is oversold pushing up. So if you were able to catch a little bit of momentum there to the downside, make sure you move your stop into profit. It has, slowly been making a high, lower low, lower highs, lower low, lower highs, and a lower low. So we have our areas marked up as far as, if you're setting your stop loss, not knowing exactly, what your entry was there. But once price would break below once price breaks above 33.18, we know that price is making a higher high. If you're in a sell, we want to be out of that baby. Once we see price breaking below 33.12, that's our confirmation that price is making lower lows, and we should see a pivotal shift once it breaks that structure. YM, goodness gracious, YM looks like it's kind of selling, have this huge selling candle here on the 15 minute. So we'll see. So it's sold down here to the S0. See if it uses how the next 15-minute candle opens in 10 minutes here at 9:45 to see if we have a flat bottom and prices, has the potential to push up, or if it's just going to break this support level. And then you guys know what to do. If it breaks that support level, you're going to look for your next pivotal shifts there, and your next
Order filled.
Your next pivotal zone is going to be your take profit. Alrighty, what are we doing? Order was filled here. So now we're in with 10 micros, which is equivalent to 1 mini. It's going up here to 61.62. I can definitely adjust and my stop loss here. Price comes below this level. Definitely don't want to be in this trade here if it comes below. It comes below this wick. Our wrinkle chart still giving us nice green bar here, new green bar, shooting up higher and higher. So that gave us the confidence to just let it play out. We can do the same thing with gold. Let's go ahead and see what gold is saying. GC. All right, so our micros are giving us selling momentum. I'm sorry, our wrinkle charts are giving still giving selling momentum. Our cross, we still, excuse me, 15. We still are, we had our selling cross here at 33.43. We still have that selling momentum. We're oversold though, so we're just being cautious. However, we have not had a break of this high here telling us that this selling is over. We haven't gotten that confirmation that the selling is over. It's near a zone that's telling us be careful. This is a potential reversal area, but we keep following that trend until we get a solid confirmation. All right, how you guys feeling today? It is 9:42. We started out the day well. We've gotten in ES, gold, kind of looking at YM, just trying to figure out what it's going to do. We have our trade setups for the day, and we are ready to take over, right? Take over the markets. Thank you so much, Ty, and everyone else for joining me. You guys know we do this every week, 8 o'clock, a.m. Eastern. Analyze the markets and try to get some good positions here so we can take over futures. So I hope you all enjoyed this trade training. You guys head over to the Telegram group for any questions. And when your trades hit TP, celebrate yourselves, y'all. I want to see that in the chats. I want to see that. I want to see you guys drop your charts. Tell us what you're looking at. We are all in this together. We're having fun. We're making monies. So we watch out for each other. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you all again for joining me. I will see you guys next week. Happy trading. Take care.